Hello. Can we see the Big Bang with the naked eye? But not with the help of special telescopes. According to theory, it's impossible, but theory is often at odds with practice. So I'm sure it's worth looking into this question in more detail. The Big Bang theory was developed by many scientists, but the greatest contribution was made by Stephen Hawking. Of course, there are a lot of judgments, disputes and disagreements about this. But if we assume for a second that the Big Bang theory does exist, if we plunge into the study of this topic, we will notice several interesting facts that support this little studied version. Although you may consider them to be just coincidences, my task is only to convey the essence of the idea to you. So, if you do, imagine that our planets appeared thanks to this very explosion. We can draw a certain parallel. The point is that the universe was born about 14 billion years ago. You can count how long ago it was. You won't have enough fingers. If the Big Bang did happen, then the light from it should have reached us just in time to show us in all its colors how it was. We can observe such phenomena as stars, for example. But some of them are also millions of light years away. But let's go in order. First, let's answer the question. What is a Big Bang? No, it's not firecrackers or fireworks on New Year's Eve, but something a little bigger. You've probably heard of this world-famous theory. It has been followed by scientists for many years, although they still cannot come to a consensus. But you're unlikely to have asked yourself the question, how could it have happened? Could it have happened, hypothetically? This is the very moment when the universe began, when energy, matter, the laws of physics, and all the effective forces on our planet and beyond were created. According to the Big Bang theory, our universe was originally in a singular state. In other words, it was dense and very massive, but at the same time an infinitesimal point from which matter suddenly began to spread. This can be compared to a kernel of popcorn exposed to microwaves. So if you have a migraine, you need to eliminate the root cause of the disease, namely, a Big Bang width, followed by the infinite expansion of the universe. During this period, according to scientists who adhere to the Big Bang theory, the laws of physics simply did not apply. In this case, it is very difficult to understand how the processes were regulated then at this stage of the universe's evolution. Due to the infinite density of matter and incredibly high temperatures, the state of the universe was extremely unstable. After the Big Bang, space and time expanded faster than the speed of light, and matter and energy underwent mutual transformations. So according to this theory, everything we have in our vast universe can be created from a small amount of pure energy. This hypothesis was first put forward by Albert Einstein. He believed that after the Big Bang, new particles were constantly being born, which were subsequently converted into energy again. This happened until the universe finally began to cool, and its density began to decrease. Moreover, in the first 400,000 years after the universe's birth, it was not transparent to light at all. Simply put, it was filled with electrons and other particles. So the first stage of the development of the universe, as you have already understood, was a stage of enormous speeds and high temperatures. And immediately after the creation of elementary particles, the process of creating of chemical elements, and a few seconds later, due to the expansion of the universe, helium, hydrogen, and lithium appeared. As a result, it became transparent to light, so that you can understand in this tiny period of time, the diameter of the universe has already reached the size of several light years. And by the way, this very first light can be characterized as relic radiation, but we will talk about it a little later. The second stage in the evolution of the universe was its cooling, which has already led to the emergence of the fundamental forces of physics. During this period of time, there was a real struggle, matter and antimatter, when particles met their opponents, antiparticles. They were mutually destroyed, and the latter were the losers. And since for every say, million antimatter particles. There was 1,000,001 particles of matter. Gradually, we got closer to our relic radiation. And this is the third stage. Robert Wilson and Arno Penzias were the first to record relic radiation in their experiments. They managed to do so with the help of a special Dick radiometer, which was originally designed for a completely different purposes. Quite by accident, scientists discovered that the antenna on the device had an excessive temperature that no one could explain. Later it turned out that this temperature could only be caused by relic radiation. Wilson and Penzias received the Nobel Prize for this discovery. As a result, 200 million years after the hypothetical Big Bang, the first stars shone from dense clouds of gas and dust. They lit up in all directions, in all directions. Clusters of stars became the centers of future galaxies, but the first galaxies were formed only 1 billion years later. And our solar system was formed 9 billion years after the Big Bang, by the way. It is interesting that the term Big Bang was first used by Fred Hoyle, who proposed the assumptions of this theory, although he did not believe in it himself. This theory is based on an assumption. He said that the universe was created in the process of a single powerful explosion, and therefore there is only finite time. This idea of the Big Bang seems to me completely unsatisfactory. So if scientists doubt it and still doubt this theory, then how can ordinary people understand it? Just like you and me. Can we say that if we want to, we can still see the Big Bang if we want to? If we do consider this idea from the point of view of logic, then as we learned earlier, in the first hundreds of thousands of years after the Big Bang, the universe was opaque to light, which means that no matter how far we look into the distant we'll see the past up to a certain point, but we won't be able to capture the very beginning, the peak of the singularity, because at the moment, unfortunately, the world does not have such powerful technologies that allow us to do this. However, science does not stand still. Who knows? Maybe some scientist will want to invent a new kind of satellite, and without knowing, it will still catch the moment of that Big Bang. We can only wait, hope, and observe the moon and constellations through a telescope. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more interesting information about space and astronomy, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like this video so we know you appreciate our content, and leave us a comment with your thoughts and questions. Thank you for watching, join us, and see you soon in the depths of space.